Alright, this is the keys for Dua Lipa's Break My Heart. It is a pretty tricky song because it uses our D chord, which is D with an F sharp and then an A. And it also uses a B chord, which I'm not going to play properly. So normally the B minor would be B, D, and an F sharp. So that combination. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use just two fingers to play the B and D together so that we get that sound for that one. So it has a number of different sections, probably 3 or 4 different sections, all using pretty much the same chords. The chords are as follows. These are not necessarily the order, but these are the chords. So we have our E minor, which is those 3 there. Remember figuring out your majors and minors, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So E minor, we have a G, so playing our G major chord. We have a C major, and we have a D in there as well, and as I said, the B. So they're all the chords. So just an E minor, 1, G, 2, C, 3, D, 4, and then your B minor as well. Alright, so let's get stuck into all the separate parts. Let's break them into a few different sections. The first section is the verse. The verse is only 3 chords. It's the easiest part of the lot. You can, depending on if you're playing the quiet verse or the faster verse with the drums, it's up to you how you want to do it. Our first chord is our E minor. And you do that for a count of 4. If you're doing the quiet verse, it'll just be 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we move up to our G. 1, 2, I'm going to have to move this camera. Up to our G. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then down to our C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 on the C. That's if you're doing the quieter kind of version at the start. So just to repeat that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so when you're playing the other verse, instead of playing nice and slow like or just on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, you could do 4 for each. 1. Remember doing twice as many on that C there. So that's the verse. Feel free to stop there and practice that. There is a play along video with all these sections on it, so you can go and jump to that if you want to just get the verse down first. If you're ready to, we can move on to the pre-chorus. Alright, the pre-chorus starts on our C. Then we move up to our D, so sliding that same position of what we've got there, sliding them up 1 key, but this F finger has to move up to the black key. So just to repeat that, so we're going to go. So we've got our D, our F sharp, and our A, like that. And then here's the tricky part. You can either do this with 2 fingers, play your B and your D together, or you can, because of your D and when you played your D chord before, you've actually got those 2 notes. Those 2 notes that are in this D chord actually are in the same with the B. If you can stretch your little finger or another finger across over there and play B, D, and F sharp, you'll get, again, so I had it like this, and then that's the chord. Right, so we're going C, D, and then I'm taking my finger off the A and doing the B instead. Like that. And then the last little change is E minor, and then back to D, and then down to C. So it sounds complicated, but it's actually not too bad, because remember our E minor is that pattern, that comfortable pattern of skipping a note. Then we move down, but just move our finger up to the F, and then down one more time, but back to our regular pattern. So to start again, we would go C, D, B minor, and then E minor, D, C. It is pretty tricky because it's quite fast as well. The other option, remember, whenever you're doing these, is just use 2 fingers. So just start with those 2. That's always an option as well. Or if it's really, really hard, just do the bass note. C, D, B, E, like that. So there's some options there. So go and practice that with the play along if you want to, or if you're ready, we can have a look at the chorus. So chorus is very much the same as the verse. You start off with your E minor, go up to your G, down to C, but this time we then go B minor, D, and then back to our E minor again. So just if I played the bass notes, like that. So if we went E minor, G, down to C, then B, D, E, G, C, B minor, D, like that. Again, have a practice with different combinations of fingers. Use your second hand if you need to, just to get it sounding the way you like. There is one more section to go, and that is the bridge.